introduction. For those who don't know, we are the one that created Talking Tom, and officially we have more than 400 million downloads. Unofficially, because of China, we don't really know. It's a lot more. And I keep this slide in because today is a big day for us. Because we have just released our first music track together with Disney. It's featured on iTunes, you can see it. And last week we have released first episode of our animated series, so our talking characters are now living outside the apps also. Okay, enough of the advertising. Get to the point, how to create killer apps. I would say that to make it to the top of the charts, first of all, it's important that the app is of general appeal. If it's a niche app, you'll never be able to get enough traction, and you'll have to provide some other way so that your users will be able to discover the app. So first of all, the easiest is create apps that everybody can use. Second, take into account that if user will have to invest a lot of his or her time to be able to use your app, the reward of the app must be really big. If it's just a small game or entertainment app, and obviously games and entertainment are the hot stuff, the majority of downloaded apps are from these two categories, then it has to be simple. There's no way around it. The third is quality. Always depends how much to invest into quality. The answer is depends on how much the industry is developed, and app industry is very well developed, and there's a lot of other people with quality apps. So before you publish it, make sure it works well, it's polished. User sharing is also another great way to discover, to enable this discoverability of your apps. And of course, if you want to be good at ranks, make sure you understand how they work. Of course, nobody publicly tells how ranking in app stores work, but a lot of people test it, write about it. Make sure you understand it. It will help you. And if that's all, then I guess IBM would be making the best apps, the most popular apps in the world, because here's nothing so terribly difficult to follow, in my opinion. The problem is that I think that startup mentality is really important for the first app you develop. It's never, in my opinion, all the great apps had not started with an idea of individual who has then gathered the team, but the other way around it. It was always the team and then the idea, and of course you don't always have all the people you need in your team to develop the app. So you have to fill in the gaps and get the team you need for the app. Always it's important to consider what are the capabilities of your team. Our team, we were, outfit7 started as 8 people. 7 of us were ex-search engine developers. So we took what we knew best. A lot of us were like experts on user interfaces, because search engines are, you just type it in. You don't want to bother how it works. You just want to get the best results. So always work with what your team knows best. We didn't start with an idea what we'll be doing. We only knew that we'll be making apps, and a lot of my friends and colleagues told me that we are heading for disaster when we were starting our company. Okay, so another three, maybe three also most important things what to do and not to do. I would say that it's always important to focus on the product. A lot of people will tell you that you have to focus on all the post-launch activities, prepare for the success, have a huge analytics in place before you launch your first app. But in reality, with a small team, you cannot have a huge focus on all areas. So if you would have to bet on one thing, I would say bet on making the best product. Because if it's at the top of the ranks, you don't care about all the details in analytics. Of course, you have to have some analytics, but you have to have analytics just to make sure that you are making a product that will have appeal for general population, and to understand which things work in your product and which don't. You don't have to do some deep analytics and cycles and so on, not at start, because you'll not have any data anyway before you launch the app. Always stay critical to what and understand what you have done wrong, because running a small team can run really fast in one direction, and when you find out that it's a wrong direction, make sure you change the direction today, not wait for a week or we'll release this app and so on. A small team can really change, but a small team like we were, like 8 people, can change the direction in one day. So it's always really important to do it. Otherwise, you'll run out of money. It's the third point. You make sure you know how you'll finance it before you start the project. So, as you've seen on one of my previous slides, I said that it's important that you have a great team that really believes in the product. So if everybody really believes in the product, and if you have money, then there's no need for financing. A lot of people with money will still take money from VCs. I see it as that they don't believe in their product. And if you don't have money, it's okay to take money from VCs. I'm not against it, but make sure that you focus on the product you want to develop. A lot of companies start in a way that half of their people will work on making software for other companies, and the rest of them will work on their pet project. It always ends up like pet project doesn't get the attention it deserves, and the killer app is never released, or is always late, or other people make it before them. So that's important. If you decide that this killer app is your focus, make sure you have the money to make it, and just do it. Don't spend your time on other things. Okay, that's it. Thank you.